Hey everybody, this is Fritz with another exciting episode of What Can I Do to My Chopper That Make Me Go Crazy? I've decided to rewire it. I've dealt with the old harness that came with the Buell Blast, and I've decided to purchase a universal harness with all the fixings in the box. I'm showing you some connectors and pieces and stuff. Unfortunately, this is really designed for somebody who probably knows what they're doing, and I am not that guy. Shrink wrap, I recognize that, but that was about it. I did show you the electrical diagram there on the left, and there I got my manual with all of its electrical patterns in it, which I'm very excited to tackle. And the kit's fantastic. I mean, everything you could probably imagine. Everything's all labeled for us. It's just great. There's a couple of things though that I do not know what I'm doing that maybe lead to a fuse block. I thought the fuses were all built in. I really don't know what I'm doing. Here's Choppy. What I'm doing is that you can see the pieces of the rear connectors for the original Buell Blast harness, and I want to remove it because there's just too much of it. I started doing some of the rewiring work and just realized I didn't know how I was going to slave this into something contemporary. There's a lot of not needed stuff, if I understand correctly. I'm going to say that a lot. And so I have to get cracking. I wasn't quite sure how to start that. So what I'm doing, what my attempt is here is to slit the sleeve all the way up. And as I go, label each piece so I know where it went. Because a few of the things I cannot track down. Okay, so we jumped ahead here in the future. I pulled the battery out because the leads were just, everything was very frustrating. As you can see here, those oil lines from the oil bag, all the wires pass behind that, which was great when the bike was built, but now it just adds to a mess and I can't untangle. Anyway, I got the battery out of the way, labeled everything, and then just moving on a little bit here and starting the process of moving up and around and slitting the wire harness sleeve all the way. So in the end, I'm getting up to a point where you can see over my knee there. I've removed most of the outer jacket and just decided to clean up because it's fairly frightening to do all this without really knowing what I'm doing, and it's a little nerve-wracking. So I'd have to take these like kind of mental breaks to breathe. Um, what's coming up here is that there's a lot of custom brackets, and on one side I have the voltage regulator and the ignition module hanging off of a custom bracket, and it's attached to one of the gas tank screws. So there's 4 screws to hold the gas tank in. So by the end of this session, I've determined as I slowly pull those wires away from things and label things and make sure I have a good diagram somewhere, I've determined I got to empty the gas tank and pull the gas tank off because the rest of the harness is wrapped up underneath that on the main back rib, or whatever you want to call it. So my buddy came over to visit and kind of like cheer me on, and it does help because it is absolutely gut-rending not knowing what I'm doing at all. And I'm strongly putting this out here. If anybody has any contextual questions or maybe answers for me, I'd love to hear it. But there'll be several other videos as I come along. This is absolutely part 1 of probably a forever job why I learn as I go. But I appreciate anybody who wants to stop and look at me doing this. I'll try to do better filming as well. I'm not much of editor. I'm learning. Anyway, here I am getting those last pieces done, and hope you stick around to keep on watching as the future comes. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.